Eastern Conference Final tonight. Vegas leads 2-1 in the series, and they're leading 3-2 right now in the game. Fleury 35 saves on 37 shots. Gene, I think this is a great storyline that's going on in Vegas right now, especially with Fleury. I would imagine a lot of people in Pittsburgh are rooting for him right now.
Absolutely. I really think, I like both those teams in that conference final. I think it'd be nice to see Winnipeg win too. They've been through a lot with their hockey club. They're really, really good fans. So I'm happy whichever way that goes. Yeah,
I think I am too. I think it'll be a good Stanley Cup Finals no matter what. I'd imagine probably NBC or whoever has a Stanley Cup Final would want Vegas and Washington, I would think. Yeah. But Tampa, Winnipeg would be a great series, up and down. So
everybody's good now.
Everyone is good now. So, excuse me. Let's go out to Jerry out in Hempfield. How you doing, Jerry?
Hey, Rich, Gene.
Yeah.
Hey, hockey question. I was seeing in the paper today that national hockey teams they got a $75 million salary cap. Do you know if that gets bumped up every year a little bit, a couple millions, like the NFL does? And if so, you know how much? And if they don't, it doesn't make any sense that to trade a player like for the hockey team who's making $3 million to get somebody who's making $2 million just to save $1 million. If they get more money, you got to play these players. They're getting better, and they need more money. And to trade them just to save a few dollars doesn't make any sense. With the hockey, you think they should make more salary cap higher so all the teams can keep a little bit better players instead of trying to package them or trade them to save a few bucks and get less players? I'll listen. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Jerry, I appreciate the call. I mean, yes, the salary cap in the NHL goes up a few million every year, right? But it all depends on TV money and revenue. So they can't make a salary cap 90 or 100 million if they can't afford it.
It's not an arbitrary figure. It's based on a mathematical formula. I don't know exactly what the factors are, but I imagine TV money, ticket revenue, percentage of this divided by that. It's a mathematical formula. It's not, nobody's going to come into a room and say, let's make the salary cap higher. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, and it's expected to go up a couple million. It did last year.
Always is.
It always goes up. I think the 1 year it had a big boost around 10 million. That was a few years ago, but then incrementally it has gone up incrementally the last couple years. And yeah, I would expect it to go up, but yeah, you can't just, like you said, you can't just, hey, we're going to spend, let's make it 100 million. So that's not how it works. Thanks for your call, Jerry. I appreciate it. Let's go out to Mark in Ambridge. How you doing, Mark?
I was calling about the game tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, that ninth inning, you guys might disagree with me. We get that guy on second base. I know Bell's a power hitter. Max Moroff, he didn't play today, right?
Adam Frazier did.
In my opinion, I think they should have laid down a bunt, got the guy that's hurt, and you never know what happens from there. So I blame this loss on Clint Hurdle, and I'd like to see Joey Cora be the next manager. So that's my opinion about the game tonight.
Hey, Mark, I appreciate your call, but they had opportunities, Gene, in the 7th and the 8th to win it. They couldn't get runners at home. And I don't replace Josh Bell, who's the hottest hitter on the team, for Max Moroff in that situation. Even if you want to lay down a bunt, maybe Josh Bell could do it. But you have to take your chances with those guys at the plate, right?
What he said.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had Josh Bell. Sean Rodriguez has been pretty hot. Elias Diaz has been swinging a good bat. I mean, that's your middle of the lineup. I don't replace any one of those guys. And you would think that one of those guys would, if you don't strike out, if Bell and Rodriguez don't strike out, you potentially can move that. You had the runner at third base.
Well, that's what's great about this show, Richie. Here's a team 15-7 at home, in first place. No one expected to be in first place. They don't bunt in the 9th, lose a one-run game. Only the 7th and 22 at home. Fire Clint Hurdle. That's what's great.
Joey Cora. That's our first Joey Cora call of the year, I think, right? Or did we have one already?
No, I think it's a first.
Okay, let's go.
Won't be the last, though.
Dale out in Bedford. How you doing, Dale? Dale, you there?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Go ahead, Dale.
Dale. What's up?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dale. You're on the air.
Oh, okay. Hey, on the internet, I was reading there that
there's a mistake.
ESPN, I don't know, it's fake news or whatever. They were saying Greg Polanco suspected of steroid abuse.
That's fake news. That was it. Deadspin wrote an article to clarify that today. That was an ESPN fake account that happened, earlier this week or something. Did you hear about that story? Nope. It was a fake tweet that was sent out, and yeah, no, he's not suspected of anything. So You know, I'm intrigued, Gene. You know, I like the way the Pirates are playing. I know we've questioned some of the things that they've done this year. But, you know, I'm on board. You know, I would like to see them spend money, but I don't know where they're going to spend it right now. The starting pitching, I would like to see maybe them go out and get someone at the trade deadline or something. But, you know, I'm kind of optimistic. You get Musgrove back, Kingham. Let's see what he can do. He's 2-0. So, I think they're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, you know, I wrote about this for Sunday, Rich, and I think I'm like you. I mean, I believe in the offense, and I think they're, they're an athletic team. They have a good lefty-righty balance. They play pretty good defense. I mean, I could believe them. The thing that gives you some pause, though, is the starting rotation. And it's not that they don't have talent there. They have talent, but they're all so young, and three or four of them are really, really inexperienced. So, I think if they're still in a division race, say around the trade deadline, they would need to add a starting pitcher because they just don't have the experience. They're kind of callow that way. Yeah,
and I wonder, and that's the thing. Like, will Bob Nutting prove that he'll go out and spend money and try to get a guy?
It'd be interesting. Yeah, because I've always been through over the past year.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're close this time. Would he take the opportunity to spend some money? I mean, I think he should, and we've said that plenty of times on the show. But I think this time he might.
Do you think that they knew that this team was going to be this good, or do you think that they lucked out?
I think, well, I mean, they deserve some credit. I mean, look at that trade for Corey Dickerson.
Oh, yeah, it's tremendous.
That was tremendous. And the people they've gotten from Houston for Garrett Cole look like they're going to turn out. Colin Moran is, one of the top rookies in baseball. And Musgrove will be ready in a couple of weeks here. And Michael Feliz has done a really good job. So that trade doesn't look all that bad right now.
And Crick's pitching pretty well right now, so the McCutchen deal looks okay. I'm optimistic. I think this team can. You're getting to a tough time of the year, but you got to like the way they're playing at home. I want to see how they do against some good teams coming up. And hey, as long as they're hitting, they have the second best offense in the National League. And if you continue to hit like that, you're going to win games.
Yeah, and they don't strike out much either.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. 412-575-2600 is the number. Back in 2 minutes.